Pastor Scott and visiting ministers and officers and friends, I am delighted and honored to be here today and join with you and with him in celebrating 32 years of distinguished service. I have known him for many years now and know him as a distinguished and gifted preacher and a great, powerful believer in Jesus Christ. And I'm happy to come and be a part of this great fellowship. I heard by means of loudspeaker a very distinct voice a few minutes ago. Great speech, great personality. And I asked the pastor about who was that speaking. He said it was the chairman of the board. I said, that's fine. Never stop a deacon when he's talking like that. Very encouraging. A pastor and his family need the support of the church. And when they have it, they can do a great work. The book of Revelations, the 3rd chapter and the 20th verse. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice, hear my voice, and open the door, I will come in to him and will sup with him and he with me. The man at the door. There are many views of God and many notions of the relationship between man and God. The great Gnostic thought was that there was a great gulf between man and God. And God was too holy and too pure to be disturbed or to be soiled by the presence of a sinful man. And so God remained, they said, on one side of the gulf and man on the other, because man was too unworthy to have contact with God. There was another view that came to us from the smoking heights of Sinai, that God was mad, brokenhearted, and wanted to destroy man. And he said to Moses, tell the people, don't get too close to my mountain.
Yes, sir. Well,
don't touch it.
yes, sir.
They are unfit, unworthy, impure, and doomed to die. Tell them to stand back.
Well, yes.
The mountain is too holy. And for a long time, people thought of God as a judge, as a cold-hearted judge.
Yes. Well, yes.
That put upon our shoulders burdens and responsibilities too hard and too difficult. And our hearts were burdened with fear. Our minds were terrified. We shuddered. We cringed in his presence.
Yes, sir.
Because he was so mighty.
Well, yes, sir.
And we were so unworthy.
Well, all right.
In writing to the 7 churches of Asia Minor, that writer wrestled with what the church was and what the church ought to be.
Yes, sir.
In those descriptions, sometimes he saw the church as a mighty power that had lost its strength,
Well,
drifting so far from God, without vision, without power and greatness. But this same writer discovered that some were lukewarm, deserved to be spewed out of his mouth.
yes, sir. Well,
Some had worshipped Satan. Some had spent their time trying to find and keep preachers before them.
yes, sir.
And hence there was a feeling that mankind was victim. Mankind was puny subject in the face of a mighty and powerful God. But when that age passed and things were a little brighter, the text comes to light.
Yes, sir. Well,
A great deal of work had been done. A man had lived and died on the crusted earth. He had been touched by the Father's presence. He had wrestled against the great powers of death and hell
yes, sir.
and had brought deliverance close. And now the writer says, no longer fear and dread. No longer must man run from God.
No. No.
No longer must man try to find him by burning sacrifices, by slain beast, by the blood of bullocks.
Well.
He is not far off in some distant clime.
No.
This man said he's close.
Yes.
Behold, I stand at the door. You who feel that you are alone in a world like this, broken, disturbed, uneasy. You who think that there's nobody to help you in a crisis, that this cold world is against you, friends are few, enemies are mighty, diseases wrecking your body, and sin seeking to destroy your soul. Don't run. Don't look for some distant mountain that's on fire. Don't seek some distant stream thinking you might find him there. Open your eyes and look. He's at your door. Behold, look, consider, search and speculate. He's close by. And that's the theme of gospel preaching. A man who preaches the gospel of Christ doesn't have to invent something. It's already invented. You don't have to worry about paying the expense of some long distance across the mighty ocean to some Mecca. You can stay where you are. You don't have to curse people who are rich and spend all of your time asking God to damn them. For there is no marching army can move him. No fighting soldiers can kill him. Behold, I'm at your door. Close by. If you got to buy food stamps, don't be ashamed. The God who is the bread of life is close by. He will not let you starve to death. Behold, I stand at the door. Now remember this, that he not only stands there, he knocks.
Yes, sir.
He's patient. God is patient. God is not nervous. Sometimes it takes God a long time to build what he builds. A long time. Geologists have searched the rock to death and said it required millions of years to fix these mountains, these rocks, and these hills. But God was not unworthy. He stayed by, built the rocks and the plains, and fixed them in their places. Takes time. Don't be uneasy. You may not be as strong as you want to be today. You prayed so long for power, and it doesn't seem to come. But it takes God a long time to make a man and to make a Christian. But he's not going to give you up. He stays there and knocks at your door. Behold, I stand. Behold, I knock. I don't want to mislead you. I don't want to forget you. I want to make sure that you heard my voice and heard my knock. I will not leave it once. Stands there. Knocking at your door. I like that about him. If you don't hear me, I'll knock. And make sure you heard. God makes noise to get your attention. Standing, knocking. How patient. How great. Don't get discouraged. I heard the deacon say a few minutes ago how you were on a certain street, a small congregation at first, but you didn't give up. The preacher preached. The church prayed. The choir sang. The saints shouted, waiting for him to act. But if you're patient enough, on time, at the right time, he'll come. The old slaves used to sing a song, but if you're patient enough, on time, at the right time, he'll come. The old slaves used to sing a song, somebody is knocking at your door. It's not like Jesus knocking at your door. Can't you hear him? Can't you feel him? Don't you know him? Knocking. He could have left as soon as he came. He didn't need you. He didn't need me. But he loved us. Somebody's inside of that house. And I'm not going to leave until he opens the door. Listen, friends. God has confidence in us. He believes that somebody inside of that house can hear. He believes that somebody can grasp the message. He believes that somebody is holy enough to recognize the voice of salvation. And he stays there, waiting and knocking until you get ready. Thank God today, he's patient. But don't wait too long. Don't drive him away. If you do, the day is dark. The moments are bleak. And life is too lonely. An old king once boasted of his power, his wealth, his army, but he waited too long. He turned his back on God. And God begged him, and God called him, and God knocked. But he would not hear. And God turned his back. And the poor king lost his power and lost his kingdom. Young people, don't wait too long. Don't drink too long. Don't gamble too long. Don't dope yourself too long. He might walk off and leave ya. Listen to him. Hear his voice. And the beautiful thing about this is, God thinks that there's something in that house. Doesn't matter who you are. God thinks that there's a value in the house. And that's why he stands there, waiting. But he won't break in. He respects your privacy. He respects your door. He respects your living ways. He will not come in unless you open the door. Sinner, you must open the door. It doesn't matter how much he knocks. He's not breaking in. You must open the door. Let nobody fool you. There's something in us. Some power. Some gauge. Some diamonds. some gold, some value. And Jesus Christ knows it. And he came all the way down to tell us, you ought to be saved.
Ought to be saved.
Come to seek and save that which is lost. Must I spend my time cursing my enemies? Must I spend my time begging for things I don't need? I have something already. Power of soul. Vision of glory. And a sign in that that the Spirit of God has already touched me. Open the door and I'll come in. Praise the name of God today. And that person got up and came slowly to the door and got to the doorknob. Who is it knocking? Don't you know me? Who are you? I'm your Savior. I'm your Redeemer. I'm the God of power. I came to seek and save that which is lost. And if you need me, open the door. The master came in quietly and slowly. He said, I tell you, if you let me in, we'll have a feast together. We'll have a feast together. We will eat together. You sup with me, and I sup with you. The word sup in one case means evening meal. But it could mean that because God doesn't wait until evening tide. He does not wait until the sun goes down. When you're young, he'll come to you. He'll lift up your bowed down head, cut loose your stammering tongue, and give you power to sing.
God bless you.
You sup with me. I sup with you. Sup here means a little. A spoonful, or a little taste, as a mother feeds a child. That's supping, a little. Now, when we go to Jesus Christ, it doesn't matter how we agonize. We are not worthy to get in the kingdom. Our prayers are not perfect. Our groans are not perfect. Our songs are not perfect. We are not holy yet. Just a part of eternity. And Jesus Christ will accept it. Just a spoonful. I'll take it. I'll use it. I know you're not pure. I know you're not holy. I know you're not great yet. But start as a babe. And I'll take it. Thank God today. He does not require that I be a big man. He does not require that I be a philosopher. He does not require that I be rich, poor, dejected, and neither. Come on. And I'll sup with you. And you with me. I'll take your little bit. I'll take your groan. I'll take your sighs. I'll take your tears. Oh, yes, I will. And use them. But Jesus, what will you do for us? I'll give you just a little righteousness. You can't stand the whole tub of it. Time can't stand much of eternity. Time can't stand God's divinity. Earth can't stand heaven. I'll give you a little taste. Just a little bit of it. That makes you groan. That makes you laugh. That makes you cry. Little grace. Little power. Little groan. I love him because he gives me a little taste. Doesn't matter how low I fall, he'll give me a little taste of his grace. Yes, he will. Just a little taste. Enough to make me groan, make me confess him. Just a little grace. Just a little grace. Just enough to make me stand on my feet. Just enough to make me lift up my head. Just enough to make me wring my hand sometimes, but it's enough to move my soul toward him. And I have decided to stay with him. I've decided to preach his gospel. It doesn't matter how dark it gets. I've decided to stay close by him. Praise the name of God. Because after a while, the shadows will pass away. After a while, the door will be lifted. After a while, the morning of joy will come. But for time being, just a little will do me. Keep my heart burning on fire.
We've heard some good news today. If I hadn't opened the door, I'd open today. There's a man at the door. Don't have to be big, or rich, or strong. He's knocking. Ain't that good news? The great God of the universe is at the door. Somebody came to church this morning, doubtlessly feeling that nobody cared about you. But we've heard good news this morning that the monarch of the universe is knocking at your door, my door. Open the door and let him in. Choir's going to sing. Open the door. Open the door. Ease out of the house. Talking about my anniversary, it's always Jesus' celebration. We always put him out there in the center, the man at the door. And this may be your last chance to open the door. Why don't you get up and move down the aisle and let the man sup with you.
He's knocking at your door.
Sing that shit.
Somebody's knocking at your door.
At your door. Your door.
Crying out, sinners. Why don't you answer? Somebody knocking at your door.
I know he is.
Somebody knocking at your door.
Say.
Somebody's knocking at your door. I'm crying out, sinner.
Sing.
Why
Don't you sing it?
Somebody's knocking at your door.
I know that. Hold on, man.
Somebody's knocking at your door.
Sing it.
Somebody's knocking at your door. I'm crying, oh, sinner.
Sing it.
Somebody's knocking at your door. Knock like Jesus knocks by.
Sure